Consider the following statements. First statement is that coal ash, it contains arsenic, lead and mercury. This statement is correct. This is our environment book for IAS Prelims 2020, page number 15. We have given a table, the major pollutants and their sources. The pollutants lead, mercury, their sources. Coal gasification is there. The process of coal gasification, it produces three types of ash that contains lead and mercury. Statement 1 is correct. Now the second statement, that coal-fired power plants release sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen. This statement is also correct. In the same book, environment book, page number 14, it is mentioned pollutants, oxides of nitrogen, their sources, burning of fuels, and sulfur dioxide, combustion of sulfur containing the fuel, that is coal. Here it is also mentioned that pollutants, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, they are released from the fuel burning. So the statement second is also correct. Now the third statement, that high ash content is observed in Indian coal. This statement is also correct. Now open our geography book for IAS Prelims 2020, page number 187. On this page, all the types of coal and their varieties are mentioned. Now see this third variety, lignite. Lignite coal is of inferior quality. Huge quantity of ash is left behind after burning. And on the same page 187, it mentioned that India contributed 3% of the lignite type of coal produced by all the countries of the world. So India has a 3% of lignite. So high ash content coal, that is lignite, it is found in Indian coal. It is also correct. All three are correct. D is the answer. Next question. What is the use of biochar in farming? Three statements are given. Now first check the meaning of biochar. This is our January current affairs book, page number 65. Biochar, it is basically a method of charring the biomass and burying it so that its carbon is locked up in the soil. So this is biochar. So what is the use of this biochar in farming? The first statement is that biochar is being used as a part of growing medium in vertical farming. This statement is correct. Second statement is that biochar, it promotes the growth of nitrogen fixing microorganisms in agriculture. This is also correct. And the third statement, when biochar is being used in agriculture, it helps to retain the water for a longer time. This statement is also correct. Now see, this is our environment book, page number 30, 31 and 32. There is a complete explanation of this process, carbon sequestration. Biochar is basically a carbon sequestration, or it is a biosequestration. Here it is mentioned on page number 31 environment booklet that this biochar, it is a recognized method of agriculture practice. So the statement first, that it can be used as a part of growing medium in vertical farming. This statement is correct. Now the second statement, the third statement, that it helps to retain the water for a longer time, and the second statement, that it helps in nitrogen fixing microorganisms. Now on the same page number 31, it is explained that it allows the soil to hold more water. Environment book, page number 31, where this biochar is explained. And on the page 32, it also affects the nitrogen emission. Page number 32, environment book. So all these three statements, they are correct. Therefore D is the answer. Question is solved. Next question. In the context of India, which one of the following is the characteristic appropriate for the bureaucracy? And the correct answer is D, that it is an agency for implementation of public policy. Now see, this is our Current Affairs book, June 2018, page number 152. There was a news that government opens door to the lateral entry in an apparent bid to bring in expertise from the private sector and infuse talent into the country's bureaucracy. The union government has invited outstanding individuals to join the government at the level of joint secretary at the center. And in the same news it is mentioned that the post of joint secretary is crucial for policy making and implementation of government programs and schemes. So implementation of government programs and schemes is the main function of bureaucracy. Therefore D is the answer. Question is solved. Next question. Who among the following rulers advised his subjects through this inscription? Whosoever praises his religious sect or blames other sect out of excessive devotion to his own sect with the view of glorifying his own sect, he rather injure his own sect very severely. And the correct answer is Ashoka. Now see our history book, History of India by bestcurrentaffairs.com for IAS Prelims 2020, page number 25. Here it is mentioned about the king Ashoka. The edicts of Ashoka, they are found throughout the subcontinent. These edicts states his policies and accomplishments. Now on the page number 27, in the same book, History of India, it explains all his rock edicts and inscriptions. Here in the 12th rock edict, it expresses Ashoka's concern for the well-being of all other sects. Here it is mentioned, the 12th rock edict of Ashoka. It shows the concerns for well-being of other sects. Therefore, A is the answer. Ashoka, A is the answer. Question is solved. Next question. If a particular plant species is placed under the Schedule 6 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, what is the implication? 4 options are given, and the correct one is A, that a license is required to cultivate that plant. Now see, this is our environment booklet. From the page 133 onwards, we have given the full explanation of this act, Wildlife Protection Act, that this act regulates the hunting of wild animals as well as protect specified plants. It has a special chapter dealing with the protection of specified plants, and under the rules followed after this act, here they are given: the wildlife protection, licensing, the wildlife specified plants, conditions for possession by license rules 1995. Now on the page 134, it is mentioned that protection of specified plants, section 17A of the act prohibits picking, uprooting, cultivation, etc. of specified plants. On the next page 135 of environment book, it is mentioned that the chief wildlife warden may, with the previous permission of the state government, grant to a person a permit or license to pick, uproot, acquire, collect or cultivate that plant. So therefore A is the answer. Question is solved. Next question. With reference to the period of Gupta dynasty in ancient India, the towns of Ghantsala, Kadura, Chaul were well known as. 4 options are given, and the correct one is that the places of exotic stone art and architecture. Now this is our history book, page number 29 for IAS Prelims 2020. In a subtopic of art and culture, the Ghantsala stupas were mentioned. So Ghantsala, they were the places of exotic stone art and architecture. Therefore C is the answer. Question is solved. Next question. Which of the following statements best describe the term social cost of carbon? It is a measure and monetary value of. The 4 options are given, and the correct answer is A, long term damage done by a ton of carbon emissions in a given year. It is not about the requirement of the fossil fuel. It is not about the climate refugees. It is not about the contribution of individual to the carbon footprint. Now see this, our environment book for IAS Prelims 2020, page number 36 and 37. We have given this topic, socio-economic consequences of global warming. There is a complete explanation of this topic. You can see that substantial disruptions could be expected under these conditions in the areas of agriculture, food and forest products, water and energy supply, human health. Models predict that this global warming, it would produce economic losses in some regions. Models predict cost will exceed the benefits. There is a complete explanation of socio-economic consequences of global warming, and by reading this full para, this meaning can be inferred that the best explanation of this term social cost of carbon is the long-term damage done by a ton of a carbon emission in a given year. Therefore, A is the answer. Question is solved. Question: in the context of India, which of the following are considered to be the practices of eco-friendly agriculture? 4 options are given, all are correct. Now take the first one, crop diversification. This is our July 2019 current affairs book, page number 38. There was a news that the government has taken several steps, which among others include crop diversification program as a sub-scheme of Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana to divert the area of water guzzling paddy crop to alternate crops like pulses and oilseeds. So crop diversification is correct. Second is the legume intensification. It is also correct. Now this is our science book for IAS Prelims 2020, page number 54. There was a topic, nitrogen fertility. Crop rotation with legumes maintain nitrogen fertility in the soil. It is clearly mentioned, nodules of legume roots. It maintains the nitrogen fertility of the soil. Third one is the tensiometer use. This is also correct. This is our November 2018 current affairs book, page number 52. There was a news with regard to groundwater depletion in India, and in this news it was mentioned that more than 500 tensiometers were used in 5 districts in Punjab. Irrigation based on information provided by the tensiometers helped farmers in 5 districts to save 10 to 36% of groundwater. So the tensiometer is a 2-3 feet long instrument to measure the groundwater level. Now fourth one is the vertical farming. This is also correct. Now the same book, science book, page number 54, there was information about the vertical farming. A taproot system. This taproot grows vertically. Respiratory roots, they are short, vertical, which occur in mangrove plants. Also in our book, December 2019 current affairs, page number 67, there are 2 types of vertical farming. One is hydroponics and the other one is the aeroponics. There was a mention of this hydroponics. Hydroponics is a subset of hydroculture, which is a method of growing plants without soil by instead using the mineral nutrient solutions in a water solvent. It was in the December 2019 current affairs book, page number 67. The same one was also mentioned in our science book. This is our science book, hydroponics. It is a cultivation of a plant on a nutrient solution. Hydroponics, aeroponics, these are 2 types of vertical farming. Nitrogen fertility is there. Therefore all the given 4 options, these are correct. They are mentioned several times in our books, here and there, on several pages. Therefore, D is the option, D is the answer. Question is solved. Question. The experiment will employ a trio of spacecraft flying in formation in the shape of an equilateral triangle that has the sides 1 million km long with lasers shining between the craft. The experiment in question refers to, and the correct answer is D, evolved LISA. Now see, this is our current affairs book, June 2016, page number 141. Here it was mentioned, space antenna to probe gravitational waves, that evolved laser interferometer space antenna project. ELISA is a spectacular plan of setting into the space 3 spacecraft, a mother and 2 daughter spacecraft, which will fly in a triangular formation, trailing the Earth in its orbit around the Sun at a distance of 50 million kilometers. In the same book, there was a news with regard to LISA Pathfinder. On page number 137, June 2016, LISA Pathfinder results were published at that time. This experiment was completed. So after the completion of LISA Pathfinder experiment, the scientific team announced the next experiment, evolved LISA. This evolved LISA, that is to be launched in 2034. This news was also mentioned in our latest September 2019 current affairs book, page number 87, space-based gravitational wave detector, LISA. LISA is led by European Space Agency. LISA scheduled to launch in early 2030s. It will consist of 3 spacecraft arranged in a triangle million of kilometers across. The spacecraft will relay laser beams back and forth and combine their signals to find evidence of gravitational waves. So this LISA is also mentioned in our September 2019 current affairs book, page number 87. Therefore D is the answer. Question is solved. Next question. Consider the following statements. 3 statements are given. Now take the first 2. The first statement is that genetic changes can be introduced in the cells that produce eggs or sperms of a prospective parent. This statement is correct. And the second statement is that a person's genome can be edited before birth at the early embryonic stage. This is also correct. For this, kindly open our science book, page number 49 for IAS Prelims 2020 by bestcurrentaffairs.com. Here we have mentioned the recombinant DNA and gene cloning technology. Here it is clearly mentioned that this technique, often called genetic engineering, is useful as the gene can be isolated, cloned and characterized, so that the technique has led to a significant progress in the areas of molecular biology. All the full explanation is given here. Therefore, the first 2 statements are correct. Now take the third one, that human-induced pluripotent stem cells can be injected into an embryo of a pig. This is also correct. This is our current affairs book, February 2017, page number 49. There was a news, scientists grow human stem cells in pigs. Scientists have succeeded in growing human stem cells in a pig embryos. It is clearly mentioned here. It was February 2017 current affairs books, page number 49. So all 3 statements are correct. Therefore D is the answer. Question is solved. Next question. This is the question. With reference to the Indian economy, consider the following statements. 4 statements are given. Now take the second one first. The percentage share of rural areas in the workforce steadily increased. This statement is wrong. It is decreased. Now see this current affairs book, July 2019 current affairs for IAS Prelims 2020, page number 95. There was a news, periodic labor force survey. Here it is mentioned that the workforce participation rate, it has declined. The workforce participation rate declined for both sexes and in both rural and urban areas. However, the decline was the highest for the rural female workers. So this statement second is wrong. Now exclude 2 from the given options. You are left with B and C, 3, 4 and 3 only. Now check the fourth statement, that the growth rate in the rural employment decreased. This statement is correct. This is our November current affairs book, November 2019 current affairs, page number 114. There was a news, India's unemployment rate increases. Here it is mentioned that the employment declined an unprecedented 9 million by 2% drop, with agriculture employment declining by 11.5%. Therefore, the statement fourth is correct. Now B has a 4 1, so 4 is correct. Now check the third one. In the third statement is that in rural areas the growth in non-farm economy increased. This statement is also correct. Open our economy book for IAS Prelims 2020, page number 6. Here it is mentioned sectors of economy. First one is the primary sector, that includes agriculture and farming. Here it is mentioned the share of primary sector has decreased. The share of this sector was 57% in 1970, which has reduced to 29% in 1995 and now further reduced to 25%. Therefore, statement third is also correct. Third and 4 both are correct. Therefore, B is the answer. Question is solved. Next question. Consider the following statements. 3 statements are given. Now check the first one. Jet streams occur in northern hemisphere only. This statement is wrong because it occurs in both northern and southern hemisphere. This is our environment book, page number 34 for IAS Prelims 2020 by bestcurrentaffairs.com. Here in this line it is mentioned that jet streams, they are found in both hemispheres. Increased precipitation is predicted in polar and subpolar regions, whereas decreased precipitation is projected for the middle latitudes in both hemispheres as a result of expected poleward shift in the jet streams. So jet streams, they are found in both hemispheres, northern and southern. Therefore this statement is wrong. Now exclude the 1 from the given options. You are left with B and C. Now the second statement, only some cyclones develop an eye. This statement is correct. This is our geography book, page number 30 and 31. On 30, all the types of cyclones are mentioned: temperate cyclones, tropical cyclones, tornadoes, anticyclones, etc. Now on the page 31, geography book for IAS Prelims 2020, page number 31, it is mentioned that I is the central low pressure core of a tropical cyclone, not the temperate. So the statement that only some cyclones develop an eye, that is the tropical cyclones, this statement is correct. Now B and C, they both have 2. And the third statement is that temperature inside the eye of cyclone is nearly 10 degrees centigrade lesser than the surroundings. This statement is wrong. Nowhere is mentioned this statement. Here on the geography book also, it is mentioned that I is the central low pressure core, but not the low temperature. Therefore, statement third is wrong. Only 2 is correct. C is the answer. Question is solved.